hope that Rohit doesn't make the same mistake as Ganguly did when he won the toss in 2003 World Cup final and opted to field first.
This Indian team is on a rampage, and it's time for them to complete another revenge as India will take on Australia after 20 years in another World Cup final. And here we are to talk about the match. We'll keep it short, and as usual, I'll start with Pragun. So, Pragun, what are your thoughts on this match?
I think this won't be an ordinary match, considering it is a final. Obviously, it will be a spectacle with all the extra things around the match. It will There are air shows announced, and there will be Preetham performing before the match has begun, and then there will be a mid-inning show where they will be facilitating all the World Cup winning captains. I would have liked if Imran Khan would have been there also. He is the only Pakistani captain to win a World Cup. And then there is for the closing ceremony, there are drone shows and whatnot. So, what are your thoughts about these things around the match?
I think fans will enjoy it, of course, but it does create an extra baggage on the players, not just Australians, but Indians as well. Because as Indian players, they know that the pressure is so much on them because over a billion people will be watching it on television, and there will be more than a lakh people in the stadium as well. And to hype it up, they're doing this laser show and Preetham show and captain ceremony and whatnot. So I think it will add that extra baggage on players, and we hope that our players don't break with that pressure. They've been pretty well so far. The New Zealand game was a high pressure match, but Rohit Sharma didn't really let us feel that with this blistering batting. And okay, as far as batting is concerned, I think it will be crucial to see what he does if he wins the toss. And same for Pat Cummins as well, because we've seen in Ahmedabad chasing has been pretty easier as compared to batting first. But in a World Cup final with so much pressure, maybe teams will opt for batting first. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are only that I hope that Rohit doesn't make the same mistake as Ganguly did when he won the toss in 2003 World Cup final and opted to field first. I know that chasing is easier in Ahmedabad, but you have to consider that it is a World Cup final also. And the pressure of having a score behind you in the first innings, I think that helps when you are defending a total. So if we can get a good score around 300, 320, I think the team batting first will always be in an advantageous position.
I think, of course, batting first will have that advantage of it being a high pressure match, and batting second will have that advantage of maybe due factor might come in. But if you compare two teams, they've been on a winning streak. India has a 10-game winning streak, and Australia has a 8-game winning streak. But if you compare their wins, they've been dominant while batting first, they've been dominant while batting second. So both of the teams have nearly every box ticked. Australia had some concerns with Steve Smith and Marnus Labuschagne's form, but the way Marnus Labuschagne has been fielding, they won't even want him to bat. They would just feel that don't butter up your fingers, come out and save those 20, 30, maybe 50 runs in the field itself. And of course, if the team needs you with the bat, you can do it, we know. And Steve Smith as well has done well. And honestly, I've been sort of uh, been a fan of Josh Inglis in this World Cup because I never really liked that player. I thought he's from BBL and he might not be able to do good in 50 overs, especially in a World Cup setting. But he played a very good knock in the semi-final against South Africa. And of course, bowling is their strength.
And to think that Josh Inglis, he's not playing at his original position. He is
Mm.
originally in BBL or even in domestic cricket in Australia. He bats in top order. And to be playing, I think a top four is filled with Labuschagne and Steve Smith. Even top five with Mitchell Marsh batting at number
Yes,
three. So he might be playing at six or seven, considering where Maxwell goes.
yes.
So that is actually a very commendable effort from him. And secondly, I think, like you said, the both teams are on a winning streak and have their boxes ticked. I would still say that the only chink I can see in Australian lineup is chasing. I think they obviously the pitch was tricky in the semi-final against South Africa, but I think they made it more trickier than it was. The chase wasn't planned in a certain way. Like the start head gave them, I think it shouldn't have gotten till the overs it went.
Yes, it might have been a cakewalk if they had a better planning. And like you said about Travis Head, to come out and bat in that fashion when you were on top in the first 10 overs while bowling first, then David Miller brought South Africa back, and of course, the momentum shifted. The momentum was with South Africa. at the innings break, but to come out and bat in that way to sort of kill the game for South Africa. Of course, they made it till the end, but some poor bowling and extremely poor captaincy led to South Africa's downfall. But of course, Travis Head has been really good, and David Warner as well. Mitchell Marsh has been so brilliant so far here.
I don't think Mitchell Marsh has been as good as he is. I don't think he will be a trouble for India. No, I just don't want to jinx it, but I don't think he will be a trouble. But I think the major trouble for India in this match would be someone like Steve Smith and Labuschagne with his bat, not with his fielding, with his bat, because even India tends to get lazy or get on the back seat if they get some quick wickets up front.
Yes.
And that's when players like Labuschagne and Steve Smith can get on top of you. So I would say they are more of a troublesome. I don't think the way Warner and Travis Head are playing, I think they will present opportunities for them to be dismissed. It's just that we have to be on our A game with our fielding and with our body language, I would say. If you have a great body language while fielding, I think that adds an extra pressure on the side batting.
And do you think Ashwin will play over Siraj, given that we've been hearing that it will be a slowish wicket, and Siraj has not been at his fluent best, to say the least?
Thing with Siraj is, I would say, I personally would have liked if Ashwin would be playing, but the thing is, Ashwin is great against left-handers. We all know that. But in the Australian lineup, the only left-handers or the only left-handers with batting pedigree are uh, David Warner and Travis Head at the top. I don't think that India would be worrying if they bat till the middle order when Ashwin comes to bowl. I think they will be keen to get them out within the first spell or uh, when Shammi comes and he does his magic. So I don't think they will be making changes. I would have liked if Ashwin would have played, but I don't think they will be. And personally, I would have liked that if Shammi would have taken the new ball, but I don't think they want to change that. Siraj's only threat is when the ball is moving,
Yes.
and on his day, Siraj can wreak havoc. And we all saw what he did against Sri Lanka in Asia Cup final and what he did against Sri Lanka in Wankhede. If the ball is moving, I don't think David Warner or Travis Head would personally like to face Siraj. He has that extra pace and that aggression which Australians love. So I think that if the ball is moving, I would have Siraj any day.
And like you talked about aggression, I think the onus in like the last game will be on Rohit Sharma to start off with the bat, because, as I said, it will be a game of nerves. And if somebody from this Indian team can counter attack Australia as early as the innings start, it will be Rohit Sharma. So we hope that Rohit Sharma continues that. Of course, in 2015 as well, there was an aggressive captain who used to who used to step down to pacers and tonk them all over the
Bat
ground. But
aggressively.
yes, but he faced Mitchell Stark in the World Cup final, tried to step out, and of course he got out. Let's hope that history does not repeat itself. India has been on a rampage, like I said earlier. They've taken revenge against New Zealand. They've taken revenge against England as well, because England defeated us in the last World Cup. And it's time for Australia to take the glory. And we hope that we come back after the match with a smile, not just with a smile, with a tinge of excitement and some madness, to talk about the World Cup, how it went. So, with that, I'll wrap this up. Thanks a lot for joining us.